और गजेंद्र तोमर जी का धन्यवाद करता हूं और अभिनंदन करता हूं। धन्यवाद इस बात का कि उन्होंने मेरे को ये निमंत्रण दिया आज के इस विषय जो कि ऑनलाइन टीचिंग एन इमरजेंसी टूल के ऊपर मेरे को बोलने को कहा। लर्निंग प्रोसेस जो है वो उसमें काफ़ी चेंजेस आई हैं जब से ये लर्निंग प्रोसेस शुरू हुआ। फ्रॉम द टाइम इमेमोरियल वी सॉ दैट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल initially it was only through the word of mouth that the knowledge was being passed from one generation to another generation. With the passage of time, the printing came and the books were there so that the documents were available which could be read by generations and generations to come. After this started the blackboard and chalk, which had been primarily the main and the basic principle of teaching the students. However, with the passage of time, late 1960s, in the US aid, various equipments like Armascope had come, in which a teacher could show the diagram or the book picture by placing it in the Armascope. Later on came the presentation, overhead projector, 2x2 slides, and then computer brought in a big revolution in the mode of teaching. Various programs were there on the basis of which the teacher could prepare the lectures and could present it to the students. However, the blackboard and the chalk remained the spine of teaching. In the time, we found that some private companies or some courses of short duration were started, and they started as online courses in which the course material was given to the students or was placed on the website, and the students would log in, read the notes. But reading of the notes and the questions to be asked was a tedious process. Since there was no communication, it was just a monologue, not a dialogue, which is preferred in the teaching process. So that students would read the notes and then they would email if there is any query. Although it had benefit that a student, whether he is in Jammu or he is in Kerala, whether he is in Assam or he is in Gujarat, they could get these lectures, read them and imbibe the knowledge. But for a teacher, it was difficult. The students could see it any time of the day. They could see it in the morning, they could see in the afternoon, they could see in the evening. But the queries which were put to the teachers were on email, and the teacher had to devote much time in answering the queries of the students through email. Of course, now the WhatsApp has come, so it has become little easier to send the queries on the phone line, on the WhatsApp itself. Thereafter, the online teaching started. Now, this online teaching, in addition to the lectures which are put up, the next phase was the video lectures which could be given to the students. Now, these video lectures were very heavy files, and because of the problem of bandwidth, the downloading was not very easy. So, whenever the students were watching a video, sometimes the streaming would start, and that continuity of the video lecture was not there. Similarly, the asking of questions was again a big dilemma. Now, recently, another mode of online teaching has come with the platforms like Zoom, where there is a personal interaction between the teacher and the students can ask the questions there and then. So, a dialogue is being maintained with the teacher and the student, and they can easily ask for their queries to which the teacher can reply. Now this methodology is also limited because you can propagate this only when there is a theoretical part of a course and no practical component in it. But wherever there is a practical component, this process is again a handicap. So that means the students need to come to the class to conduct their practicals. The advantage of this over the other methods of online teaching is primarily that there is an interaction between the teacher and the students. However, the eye contact, which is very necessary, is still missing between the students and the teacher. A classroom teaching is one where one learns the ethos, the etiquettes. All these things are learnt when there is a face-to-face interaction between the teacher and the students. However, if the interaction is not there, there are certain elements in a lecture which probably one thinks or student thinks that he has understood, but at the same time, if someone else asks a question, a student realizes, oh, this was the point which was much easier. Suppose if there is a question where you have to solve, there can be 2 or 3 methods, and a person is doing by a method which is quite cumbersome, whereas B, on inquiry from a teacher, could come to a methodology or could come to a process in which that problem or a equation can be solved in a much easier and a much lesser time. So with experience we find that the innovations in the teaching methodology also, it improved. And as Swami Vivekananda said, that the secret of life is not the enjoyment but the education through experience. So it is through experience that one learns and learns in a right perspective. Although this online teaching has a lot of benefit, for example, there is no bar on the number of students which can be accommodated. If it is a theoretical course, the students, whether sitting off far off places, they can attend the lectures and they can ask their queries from the teacher also. And if these lectures are provided on the website or on the e-governance, the students are at liberty to read those lectures any time of the day, whether morning, afternoon or evening, and this gives them the flexibility to do certain other things, to sharpen their skills in some other aspect, so that they are doing 2 things simultaneously. They are learning also and at the same time they are doing their work also. Sorry. Now online learning has its own advantages also. You can show videos, you can show animations. The lecture can be made very more interesting, which probably could not be done on the blackboard. But for that, a teacher has to be computer savvy. The teacher must know the usage of certain programs like Photoshop, Corel or Flash, wherein the teacher can make the notes more interesting and more exhilarating for the students, because you see, best is seeing is believing. When a 3-dimensional view of an object is given, the grasp of the student is much more as compared to 1 dimension. So this is one of the biggest benefit of online teaching, provided the teacher uses the software to develop his or her own lectures. So for this purpose, the teacher has to be updated always. And for that, the students also need to be very attentive. They have to be very cautious time management has to be done by the students, and there is no bar of age. A 20-year student can be listening to that lecture. A person who is 60 years or 70 years can also hear to that lecture if he or she has an interest in that. So a varied number of students in different age groups of different dimensions can be accommodated in a class. Today only I read in the newspaper that the government of India, which believes in its latest thinking that made in India should be encouraged, the government has come out with an proposal wherein they have selected 10 companies. Each of these companies will be given 5 lakh to develop something similar to Zoom so that it is Indianized. Out of these 10, then 3 will be selected and all of them will be given 10 lakhs each. The final selection or the final mode which will come out will be paid 1 crore by the government. So it is the need of the hour that when the government is pursuing in that direction, government should also come in to to make the companies come out with laptops which are much cheaper and are easily available to the students, and at the same time the bandwidth or the internet packages should also be very lucrative for the students so that their expenditure is much less. One never knows when the disaster can come. So we have to be prepared whenever there is a disaster or a calamity like this, that we can switch over to online teaching methodology. Now this online teaching methodology at times also has health issues which the students must be aware of. You must maintain the proper distance from the screen of the computer so that your eyes are not affected. At the same time, the student also have to be updated about the small or little problems which in a hardware they can face, so that their lecture which they are attending goes uninterrupted and there is no breakage. Because I have my personal experience, even in Zoom, if there is no proper bandwidth, sometimes the voice of the student is not audible or the face of the teacher is not visible to the students. So these are some of the hiccups which are there in this online teaching. But we as a country must strive to meet these challenges and make these gadgets more friendly, eco-friendly, so that the students can learn different lectures while sitting at home. Now this thing also brings in saving a lot of money, energy. If there are regular classes, you have to have well-equipped lecture halls. The students have to travel a long distance. Their time and money can be saved if we can make online classes a regular feature. However, for queries or for practical classes, we can define certain days or certain time period in a month where the students can come, they can ask for their queries and also do the practical classes where they are must to be done. But where no practicals are involved, it is only a theoretical portion, I think online teaching can be used even in normal and not only in emergency. As I said that if you want peace, you should be prepared for war. So similarly, we must always have something to fall back upon if our classroom teaching it fails to deliver because of one or the other reason. Some of the advantages of online teaching, as I told, are that it can accommodate any number of students. It can accommodate students of any age. It can accommodate students from any part of the country or any part of the world. But in this, the students have to be self-paced. They must understand how much time they have to devote. The sincerity should be there because it is a monologue, it is not a dialogue. So just by listening, their attention should be on the lecture and they should not drift apart from that. So self-discipline is very necessary with regard to online teaching. Online teaching can be made very interesting, as I said, by making videos, by making animations, and by incorporating many things which usually we cannot show on the board. The accessibility is there, and if we see the environment, see in a class if 100 students are sitting there, the amount of carbon dioxide which will be generated, and that can be reduced if we are having online classes. This mode is available 24/7, anytime which is convenient. A student can switch on his computer and look for his class material on the website or on the portal wherever those lectures are being placed. The time management for the student, it becomes easier, but he or she has to stick to the timeline so that the proper utilization of the time can take place. It is not that you have to while away your time. You have to self-motivate yourself to fix up the time so that you can study the material and then go in for the queries if you have any. We know that adaptability, whenever there is a change, the adaptability, it takes time. So we from the very beginning are trained or tuned to teaching on the board. So this online courses or online method of teaching is new. So one has to adopt to this new method of teaching, and undoubtedly it is very interesting also, provided you keep a pace with the lecture which is going on. I am of the opinion that teaching with chalk on the board is still the best, but we must be prepared for an alternative method, and that alternative method, I feel, is online teaching, which is most suitable. But for this online teaching methodology, to make it more comfortable for the students, to make it more comfortable for the teachers, I think it is a dual process in which the teachers have to be very computer savvy. They have to put in more time so that the lectures which they make, they are interesting and motivating for the students. And on the part of the students, they have to do their time management, they have to take care of the health issues, and on the part of the government, easy availability and cheap computers, subsidized packages, internet packages for the students, so that there is no financial burden on them. With these words, I finish my lecture and thank you all for giving me this opportunity on delivering my lecture, Online Teaching, an Emergency Tool. Thank you.